Hi everyone, my name is Kyle Nee and I'll be your instructor this semester for Honors Calculus 2. Now many of you may have had me before and so some of the features of these videos may be familiar to you, but I would encourage you to watch through even if you've already been a part of one of my courses. Now we'll start here by talking about a quick tour of the syllabus. To find the syllabus, all you have to do is go over, click on the syllabus button over here on the side, and then you'll see a document for where the syllabus is located. If you click into the document here, you should be able to see the following. What we'll see right at the top here is that there's some basic contact information for how you can get a hold of me during the semester. The easiest ways to get a hold of me are either by email at knee1 or via my office hours, which will be running from 10 to 11 a.m. Monday through Thursday. Now, if this time needs to change based on the availability of the class, I'm more than happy to try to do that, but right now that'll be the standing time. And of course, if that time doesn't work for you, you can go ahead and also make appointments with me individually to meet at other times. And I'm more than happy to meet with you at other times throughout the day. All right, now I'll just hit some highlights here on the rest of the syllabus as we kind of progress through things, and I'll leave the rest up to you to kind of read through in full detail on your own. We'll start here with some course materials. There actually is no official required text for this course. There is a textbook that I do list that I loosely follow, and it is a free online textbook you can find by just going to the link that's provided here. However, all the materials in this class that we will use are self-created by me. I just happen to loosely follow the order and format of this book, so if you want some additional explanations, you can go take a look at this OpenStax Calculus Volume 2. We'll also be using our calculator in this class, not very heavily, but from time to time we will discuss it. And we will be doing lots of note taking, and so it's really I encourage you to take notes throughout this class and to also have a good spot that's easy to store them so you can go back and find things quickly. I have some withdrawal dates here. These are for you to know, not for me. I don't have any control over dropping you from the course, and so you should make sure that you're aware of these dates in case you need to make use of them. The main thing that I'll go ahead and highlight here is going to be the general kind of course flow for this semester. What is it that we should be expecting? Well, first off is that we're going to be learning content through watching video lectures that have been posted to YouTube. I have spent hundreds and hundreds of hours producing videos for all of my different classes, and so I highly encourage you to watch these videos to learn the content at hand. The course calendar that we'll talk about in a later video is going to have different sections kind of laid out over our standard 5-day format as if we were meeting face-to-face, and so it'll tell you kind of what you're supposed to watch on each given day. In addition to that, there's going to be lecture guides and lecture notes that you can use to try to help take notes as you watch these videos. Now, I'll also be providing you with worksheets and solutions to these worksheets for every single section that we go through. So this will give you a good way to try to practice the concepts that we talk about without having to be worried about being graded. Again, worksheets here are not taken for a grade. I'll be available to help answer any questions that you're coming across in those worksheets or in the videos Monday through Thursday during those virtual office hour times. And we'll talk a little bit in a later video on how exactly we find those office hour times or find how to actually engage in office hours. Homework assignments will be assigned roughly every Tuesday and due roughly the next Monday by 11:59 p.m. And the calendar will highlight where each of those release dates and due dates are going to be. Students will ultimately submit their work by uploading files through Blackboard for this. Okay. Exams in this class are going to be given every 4 weeks, and you'll do the same thing for those exams. You'll have a fixed amount of time in which to take them. It'll actually be a shorter time, like a 90-minute time period to take an exam and then upload your work to Blackboard. And at the end of the semester, we'll have a final exam that'll be comprehensive, covering everything in the course, and that will also be timed. You'll just get a little more time than a regular exam. Now, a couple things to be aware of with the class is that I'll be communicating with you via your Harper email and through Blackboard announcements, primarily through Blackboard announcements. So it's really important that you go ahead and actually check your email, check Blackboard announcements for our course regularly, so that way you're aware of things as they come up and as I'm trying to communicate with you. If you don't do that, then you're kind of taking that at your own risk. I am, though, available to answer email questions. Lots of students tend to email me throughout the semester with concerns that they have or questions on homework, and I'm going to be trying to answer all email questions that come in before 7 each night. I may or may not always be able to do that, but it's a very high chance that I will. And if I don't get back to your email, I should be responding to it the next day. Okay. With our grading structure for the class, it's a pretty straightforward course. We're going to have 11 homework assignments this semester that are going to count for 20 points apiece. We're going to have 4 exams, and we're going to have a final exam. Now, if you add up all the points there's 1,000 points total in the class, and so in order to earn each associated letter grade over here on the side, you just have to earn the appropriate number of points. You need 900 points and up to get an A, 800 points up to get a B, so on and so forth as you go down the line. Okay. I had to draw the line somewhere for where exactly the cutoff is for an A, and it just seemed like the easiest place would be you got to get 90%. So that's 900 points on the nose. Notice what that means is that all of the points here on the side are worth the same amount. All points in my class are created equal. It doesn't matter whether you earn those points on the final or on a homework. It's all the same. And so any spot where you can earn points is really advantageous to you. Homework is one of the easiest ways to boost your grade because you have a week to complete each assignment, and it's worth 22% of your overall grade, 220 points out of 1,000. And so if you can earn those points, wow, that's almost like earning a perfect final exam, right? So that can be really valuable. A couple other small and quick things here. Homework assignments this semester, there will technically be 13 of them given through the semester, but I'm only going to count your best 11. So that means that your 2 lowest homework assignments will never count towards your grade. Okay. I'll let you read through the rest of the details on the homework assignments, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of these details in a later video as well. A couple other quick highlights is to be aware that when it comes to homeworks, your work on homeworks is supposed to be your own. You are only supposed to be using scratch paper, your calculator, you can use your notes, you can talk to other students, that's fine. You can even use certain formula sheets and things like that we talk about in the class that you'll be provided for on certain exams. But what you should make sure that you're careful of is to not directly copy work from another source, whether that's an online source or a friend. If you are caught copying, you'll be asked to come in, explain your work, and if you're unable to do so, you will receive a 0 for the entirety of the assignment. It's actually really obvious to kind of tell when people are doing this, so I highly encourage you to not do this. Try to make sure that you're doing your own work. It's going to make it way easier when it comes to exams. Okay. Recommended homework, these are in the form of worksheets. You want to make sure that you practice as much as you can to make homework as easy as possible. Exams are going to kind of operate much like with homeworks in that they're going to be timed. Homeworks, though, you get a time of a whole week. Exams, you get a time of 90 minutes. And all the details here are laid out. I have the exam dates. These are when you can expect the different exams to be occurring. And then I have the date of the final exam as well as our final exam policy, which you should read over. Final thing here is to just note that we do have guidelines regarding the exams as well. Again, you should not be cheating. If you are caught cheating, it is not a good thing. You'll have to be reported for academic dishonesty. You will be failing the course. It's not a good thing. So please make sure that you do read over these homework guidelines and these exam guidelines so you understand the academic dishonesty policies. And there is an academic dishonesty survey that is in this folder of videos that you need to complete. Make sure that you're aware of what it is that is considered cheating and the repercussions for that. Okay. I'll also, as the final thing here, talk about just the general tips of actually how to be successful. The first thing here is come to class. Now, what that really means for us is watch the videos, take the notes, actually be diligent about doing this. Treat videos like it was a class. Don't have music on in the background and talking with a friend at the same time and, watching something on YouTube. Actually dedicate yourself to just coming to class and dedicating some time to actually being successful. It's really, really helpful if you try to pick a regular time where you always will be working through material for this class. That's very, very important. If that's possible for you to do, it helps to kind of maintain things in a schedule for yourself. Come to office hours and ask about things that are unclear. I'm available. I love answering your questions. I love talking about math. It's why I have this career, so please don't hesitate to come ask me questions. Complete your recommended homework. Complete those worksheet problems. Practice. And also take your time on the graded homework. So do quality work. Hand things in on time so you actually get credit for them. Don't be afraid to ask me questions. Find classmates that you can work with. It's not, again, a bad idea to try to know people in the class, to talk with them. I'll show more about how you can do that in the office hours video, but it's a good idea to try to work with other students and try to get their help, try to get their perspective on things. You just always want to make sure you're turning in your own work. The last two things here, spend a minimum of 2 hours studying for every hour spent in class. So this is a 5 credit hour class, which means it's advised that you spend roughly 10 hours every week working on content for this course. That's a lot of time, but it is important to do that if you want to be successful. Also, work to understand the concepts. And the real key here is understand. It's really easy to get into a habit in math classes where you just kind of learn where to put the numbers on the page, right? Like probably in Calc 1 you learned how to take derivative rules, but did you really understand what a derivative was? Do you know what it means, or do you just know how to perform the mechanics of the moves? If all you have is just that loose understanding of what goes where and when, you may not fully understand things, and that's going to make it a lot more difficult to be successful. So this process of understanding takes a lot more upfront time. It takes a lot more time to dedicate to, but it has huge dividends and will pay out monstrously throughout this course and as you continue on into more and more courses in mathematics and other areas. Now, again, the rest of the syllabus I'm going to leave for you to read through on your own, but of course, please reach out to me if you have any questions or you need clarity on any of the policies that are laid out here. And again, don't forget to go take a look at the rest of the videos as well as that academic dishonesty survey.